All right, what's going on out there, guys? This is my FN 509. I did a video. I did a video on it a while back, uh, explaining how awesome this gun is, how sweet this thing looks. Look at that. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, this thing runs, great. Runs awesome. I don't have any problems with it. It shoots straight as an arrow. But I'm starting to hear bad things about this striker inside here failing. I guess it's breaking in half. And before that happens, if it happens, I just want to fix that problem before it does before it does it when I need it the most. You know what I'm saying? So I ordered a Apex heavy duty striker, they called it. So let's see how we do this. Let's get in it. All right, so you're gonna make sure the gun's clear, make sure there's no magazine, obviously make sure there's no bullet in there, and you're gonna go ahead and turn this right there. Oh, before you do that, it would help. I mean, you don't necessarily got to do it before, but take that off of there. Pull the trigger, and the upper separates from the lower. I usually use a piece of leather. Put my valuables down on that way. I don't worry about scratching it and stuff like that. Take the recoil spring out. Go ahead and take the barrel out of there. Put that to the side. All right, then what we're gonna do is get one of these tools here. I don't even know what this is called, but I see stuff at garage sales and flea markets and gun shows, and it looks like it can come in handy, and it does. But right here, you're gonna want to push this back just like that, and just take the tension off of this little back plate right here. Just go ahead and let that fall. Keep your finger in the way so that you don't lose that spring, because this is under tension. So there it goes right there. So take that out, put that to the side, and this right here, this is I guess it's a safety. I can't remember what you call it, but we're gonna want to push that down, and this thing should release. But remember, keep your finger in the way, because everything has a spring behind it. So go ahead and push. There you go. See that? Push that down. And like I said, make sure you keep tension on everything, because things will fly, and you'll lose an eye over it. But okay, this is what we got here. Let's compare. Wow, it is heavy duty looking, huh? Just so much more meat on this one over here. This one's more skeletonized than this one over here. Let's get some more light over here. But yeah, way different. I also heard stories that the trigger pull gets better too when you replace it as well. Yeah, way different. Alrighty, let's get the other tool here. There's a pin right here you got to push out. So we're gonna push that pin out. Push that pin out. It's gonna drop. This little thing here is gonna come out. Let that drop into your hand. There you go. Put those aside, don't lose them. Now let's see here. All right, we got our scale here set to grams, and the old one is 4 I don't know if you can see that, 4.8 grams on the old one. The new one, wow, okay, yeah, it's heavy duty, all right. 7.7 grams on the new Striker, heavy duty. I mean, when they said the Strikers were breaking, I assumed they were talking about the tip over here, but I'm not 100% sure exactly. But this thing over here, whoops, this thing over here looks like it was probably like die casted, you know, from whatever. Maybe that's why it's so weak. And this one over here, you can see some machine marks. Looks like it was milled out of one whole piece of hardened stainless steel. So that might have a difference on it. I'm not an expert, but you know, it looks like, you know, obviously milled from one piece of metal. It's probably always better. But anyway, let's get this back together. Let's drop this in here. Drop it in there. Make sure that it comes all the way down right there. And you're going to want to line up that hole. There's a hole in there. Line up that hole. Just like that. Then we're going to get this pin. Put it right back in there. Whoop, I missed it. And yes. Alright, let's start all over here. Put the pin down. Drop this in there. Make sure it seats all the way to the bottom. Line up that hole. Let me see that hole. Yeah, there's a hole in it. Put the pin in there. And it should come out the other side just like that. Yeah, that looks perfect. Keep it sideways, that way it doesn't fall out. Then there's another spring in there too. I don't know if you can see that. There's another spring in there. Make sure that's in there too. Make sure that's in there. And then go ahead and slide this in. I would keep it at an angle, that way, like I said, because if you turn it, that pin's gonna slide out or whatever. So let's just keep it sideways on its side for now. Then once it's in the gun, you can go ahead and turn it sideways, and then you know, put it in there. Then you want to grab this little thing here. Excuse me for not knowing what the fuck it's called, but yeah, I believe the spring faces towards the outside of the firearm. Maybe, but oh, sorry, completely out of focus. But yeah, you want to put that in there. It's gonna go like that, and then just shimmy this thing around, you know, until we get it in there. There we go. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, remember, this thing will shoot out of there if it doesn't. There we go. Now it, oh, maybe not. I thought this thing would have held it back, but go ahead and get this, put it back in there. Yeah, so gotta put this in there. Just like that. And you get this little piece here. There we go. And it's in there. Now, apparently we got to do a function test. So, if everything was done correctly, which I hope it was, yeah, there it goes. So, when you cock the gun, this thing, you know, gets held way back here, getting ready for you to, you know, break that sear and come forward and pow, you know, strike your primer. So the firing pin's gonna come out of this little area over here. But if this thing isn't pushed down at the same time that this striker is coming forward, it's just gonna hit this, and this piece over here in the gun, I believe it's this piece right here. No, wait a minute. This one over here. I'm sorry, what a big dodo. This piece over here, when you pull the trigger, let me see if it'll let me pull the trigger. But when you pull the trigger, this pushes up. This little piece here comes up, pushes this out of the way, which releases the striker and lets it come forward. And there you can see it protruding from the face of the slide right there. But yeah, so I mean, everything seems to be done pretty correctly then, because the safety's working. It's like a drop safety or something like that, which is always nice to have. But okay, so now that we got that in there, we can go ahead and put our barrel, put the recoil spring. I got the lightened recoil spring, just feels better to me. Whoops. Put your thread protector on, you know. I know you know how to do these things, but yeah, I mean, I still think this gun is awesome. Like I said, this thing, it hadn't failed me yet, but I mean, I've had enough people that I read about and hear about, you know, that tell me it's gonna happen. You know, it's like riding a motorcycle. It's not if you fall, it's when you fall off the son bitch, you know what I mean? But yeah, so eventually I'm assuming it was gonna happen to mine. But FN hadn't said nothing about it. But like I said, I'm happy as long as there's somebody out there making improvements for guns, you know what I mean? We'll all live a better life. I appreciate companies like that, you know, that you know, see the opportunity to make a little coin off of, you know, these people's mistakes. And that's good, man. That's good, you know. Everybody needs to eat. But like I said, still love this gun. Haven't had any issues with it. It's one of my favorites, one of my go-tos. When I'm at the range, I don't carry it, you know. When I'm out and about, I carry this guy over here. But peace, man. Hope you learned something.